What's going on, people? So, a couple weeks ago, it feels like it's been longer than that. I don't know. At some point, I bought these shoes, right? This is the Green Gecko Asics Dynablast. I keep wanting to say Dynamo for some reason, but it's not. It's Dynablast. But anyway, so I bought these a while ago. Standard running shoe on the cheaper end of the spectrum, right? And I just kind of liked the way they looked, and I thought I'd check them out, right? And I wore these pretty much every day for the last 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah, which is kind of a weird feeling to me because I'm used to just switching things out daily. You know what I'm saying? And once I've worn something one day, I don't see it again for like weeks, maybe months. But this time around, I wanted to get a good idea for how these things felt and everything because I do like to do the performance reviews. They don't get a lot of views or anything, but it kind of makes me be more active and it helps me to get a little bit of insight into the stuff that I'm buying. So it works out mostly for me. And then I just share the thoughts with you, right? So, anyways, here's the thing, right? These right here, as I said before, if you saw the actual review, these come in at around 110, something like that for retail. I was able to get these on a discount at some point, and I think they were 60, possibly 70. So that's kind of what made me pull the trigger. I figured if they're on sale, and they look kind of cool, and they're about to sell out of my size, let's do it. So I took these out and I ran a lot recently, right? And I also just did normal errands and walking around and whatnot. But the running was the big thing, right? So given that these are billed as a running shoe for the road, at least according to their website, I made sure to focus more on that, not as much of the trails and stuff this time around. So I ran through the park because it's got pavement and everything, through the streets and also on the little side trails that they have that are still paved in the same way. And I gotta say that I'm not really a huge fan. So there it is, plain and simple, right? If you want to click away because you've got the end that you wanted, I get it. But for those of you still with me, I'm going to break this down for you. So here's the thing, right? Looking at these things, in the front of the foot, front half or whatever, the cushioning in there, it just didn't feel there. It felt like I was just hitting more of the ground than I wanted to. Don't get me wrong, there is cushion in here. It's just that compared to what I'm used to, and this is where I kind of spoil myself, I buy a lot of like the higher price shoes so you get higher priced experiences, right? So getting something like this, it's going to fall a little short. I will say back in the heel area where it is a little thicker, that wasn't so bad, but still not better than obviously the things that are higher priced. And I say that because even though you're probably going to assume, and a lot of people would assume that there should be a difference, every so often, like in the case with the light strikes or something, you can buy something that's cheaper and it perform on the level of something that's higher priced. These just aren't one of those things. They perform about where their price point is. So that's something worth remembering, right? Not just that I don't like them, but knowing that for your money, you're getting what you should expect to get. Now, past that, the upper here, it felt a little loose to me. I'm used to like that tighter knit that you have on like the Ultra Boost or the Vapor Maxes, things like that. So this didn't really have that, and it just kind of felt like there's a little more movement in there than I wanted. They were still nice and breathable, and no real complaints or anything. It's just, again, you like what you like. So I want to make that clear that I'm not trying to like talk down on these. It's just that I personally was not really into them, but they look pretty cool, and for what they are, I can't really say that they're a bad choice. It's just that if you're going to be out there looking for things in this price range, I'd say do a bit of comparison between the things because there's a good chance that other stuff might be on the level or even better than these. So if you can get them on a discount though, and you're just needing something that you can run around for and you're just trying to get those miles in or whatever, trying to do that whole new year, new you thing, it's not bad. It's worth checking out. But if you're looking for something with some serious comfort because you're used to serious comfort and you want something that's going to bring that to you, keep on looking because this is not your guy. I didn't mean to add in there before I stopped talking about these, because I mentioned being on trails, right? So I didn't do a whole lot of trail running in these because these aren't made for that, but I did do it just to see how it worked. And it wasn't bad, but again, just to sum up why I wouldn't suggest that, unstable, right? Just they just weren't great for it. They held their own, right? For a $110 shoe, they did it all right. But trail wise, don't go with these. Definitely go with something that's a little more stable or just an actual trail ready shoe. Personal opinion, of course, do whatever you want with your own time. But past that, I don't really know what else to say. If you're anybody else looking into getting a pair of these, it is a true to size fit in my personal opinion, right? I will say it did feel like there was a little, like I said, a little bit extra room in here, but I don't think that going down would solve that. I think that would just introduce a different problem. So that's something worth thinking about. I'd say maybe if anything, change your socks. Like, if you generally wear the thinner ones, maybe pick some that aren't so thin, and then you'll probably be okay. That's what I noticed. But yeah, it's not a bad shoe. I like the visual. It's just, for what it is, it performs where it should. It just doesn't perform where I want it to. I think that's probably the best way to say that. Should have just led with that, maybe. Whatever, doesn't matter. Review's over. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or whatever, please leave those down in the comments below. But otherwise, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. And I have one more video to shoot thanks to Jeezy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Later, people.